If modern wood truly represented progress, Viking ships would have rotted into the sea within a decade. Instead, their hulls crossed oceans, survived violent storms, and in some cases endured centuries underwater before being recovered intact. Meanwhile, modern fences, decks and beams often fail within a single generation. This isn't a mystery of superior ancient trees or romantic craftsmanship. It is the result of a specific Viking method that modern building culture abandoned. Once you understand this method, wood rot stops being an unavoidable problem and starts looking like a design failure. The Viking method started by accepting that wood will always meet water. Modern construction treats moisture as an intruder that must be sealed out at all costs. Vikings assumed water exposure was inevitable. Their goal was not to keep wood dry forever, but to ensure it dried quickly and evenly every time it got wet. This shift in thinking is the foundation of the Viking method and the reason it works where modern waterproofing often fails. Instead of trapping moisture behind coatings, Vikings created systems where water could enter, exit, and never linger. Wood that dries rapidly does not rot, even in harsh climates. The most misunderstood part of the Viking method is pine tar. Today it is treated as a surface preservative, brushed on cold as a final step. Vikings used it differently. They heated pine tar until it flowed like oil and applied it to warm wood. This allowed the tar to penetrate deeply into the fibres rather than forming a fragile surface layer. The process was repeated regularly. Ships were tarred season after season. Roofs and walls received new applications as part of routine maintenance. Each treatment pushed the tar deeper, slowly transforming the wood into a water-resistant material from the inside out. To apply this today, warm pine tar, gently warm the wood if possible, and apply generously. Allow time for absorption before repeating. This method works best on air-dried or lightly charred wood. Before tar ever touched the timber, Vikings often exposed wood to controlled heat. Light surface charring sealed pores, killed surface organisms, and reduced moisture uptake. More importantly, it changed the wood's structure so that tar bonded more effectively. This step is easy to replicate. Lightly char the surface using a torch or open flame, brush away loose carbon, then apply warm pine tar or oil. The result is wood that resists rot, insects and weather far better than untreated lumber. Viking builders understood that waterproofing fails at joints. Instead of fighting this, they designed joints that tightened when wet. Overlapping planks, beveled edges, and compression joints ensured that swelling improved the seal, rather than breaking it. Clinker-built ships are, I would say, the clearest example. As the hull absorbed water, the planks expanded and sealed the seams. When dry, they shrank just a bit, but, they never trapped moisture. Modern builders can actually apply this principle by avoiding flat-butt joints, using overlaps, and, designing for runoff rather than aiming for perfect sealing. The Viking method, you see, assumed ongoing care. Tar was reapplied. Damaged sections were repaired early on. Wood was never ignored until failure, and that's really key. This mindset is completely absent from modern construction, which promises maintenance-free materials that quietly decay out of sight. Regular inspection and simple retreatment extend wood life dramatically. This is not a weakness of the Viking method, but its greatest strength. Modern wood rots because it is fast-grown, kiln-dried, sealed with brittle coatings, and installed in designs that trap moisture. When water inevitably enters, it has nowhere to go. Fungi thrive and rot accelerates. The Viking method prevents this by, well, removing food sources, allowing movement, and using flexible, renewable protection. All right, so to start, you want to use better wood selection. If you can, use air-dried lumber. Next, lightly char the exterior surfaces. Then warm and apply pine tar or natural oil, and do this repeatedly. Be sure to design your joints and surfaces so they can shed water. And finally, inspect and maintain everything on a regular basis. You know, these steps really require time, not technology. That's actually why they were abandoned. Not because they stopped working, but because people just didn't have the time anymore. For survivalists, homesteaders and, well, serious students of history, the Viking method offers resilience without any industrial dependency. It really shows how societies managed to build things to last, even in environments much harsher than most modern ones. So, if this breakdown has changed the way you think about wood and durability, please consider supporting In the Beginning by subscribing, sharing this with fellow history enthusiasts, and helping to preserve serious historical knowledge for future generations.